So since Project Black Brick isn't gonna get any more serious work for a while, we've got some space in the garage to pull something else in.
This is a 1988 XR4TI. It's 95,000 miles. We got it from the original owner. Been sitting for about 5 years. He parked it because it would die when it got hot. He thought it was a fuel pump. I thought it was the ignition module because that would kill the car when it gets hot, but we replaced that and that doesn't help at all. So probably it's the fuel pump. We got to pull it in, check fuel pressure.
I like those wheels.
The wheels are nice. I got the center caps for them too, but I kind of like it without the center caps.
I do like those wheels.
Yeah, the paint's kind of faded and sun-baked.
You said it was sitting for 5 years?
It was sitting for 5 years in the guy's driveway. But he was the original owner. Bought it for his wife to drive to work and back. And so this is the 88. They only made these for 4 years, from 86 to 89. In 88, they got the smaller wing. The earlier ones had a nice big bi-level wing that was pretty awesome. But this has a small wing. So this is the 2.3 Ford turbo engine, same as like a Mustang SVO or a Ford Thunderbird turbo coupe. Pretty reliable engines, you know, not too sophisticated, but it's single overhead cam 2.3 turbo, kind of like a Volvo. Not much to it. It should be a fun car once we get it going. I replaced the timing belt on it. Other than that, I haven't actually driven it. I drove around the block once and it would just die under any load.
All right. Well, let's get this thing in the bay.
So I had the belts and everything off to put this timing cover back on. I replaced the timing belt because it was pretty shredded, and I lost the bolts for the timing cover, and after 4 months or so I just found them, so we can finally bolt that back on. And we got to do that so we can verify the timing's correct, because the timing cover has the timing marks on it. First thing we're going to do is check the fuel pressure, make sure that's good. So this one's all stock. A lot of people put an intercooler in these from a turbo coupe or something. This one doesn't have the intercooler, just straight in the intake, so that kind of limits the power you can make. You're not going to shove a whole lot of boost through there without an intercooler to cool the charge. I mean, with some part swapping and stuff, this is a pretty sturdy engine. You could probably make 300-400 horsepower pretty easy with it, but then we start breaking things and that gets expensive. So the plan now is to get it running good, keep it stock, because there's not too many stock XR4TIs around anymore, especially a one owner. Maybe there are, but they're probably sitting by a barn somewhere.
Look at these doors. Look at how huge these doors are on such a small car. The door is like half the car. That's awesome.
Get in the back seat easily.
Yeah, that's
and it's
cool.
got these. Love these things.
What? Oh, that's cool.
Get some ventilation there.
That's cool.
Important because the air conditioning doesn't work.
And you've got all the original stuff too.
Yeah, I got this from the original owner, so he has all the window stickers, all the original documentation from it.
That's cool.
This is my favorite part. Standard equipment includes Merkur commitment. So they're apparently committed to something.
Oh man, that means we gotta be committed. That means we gotta get it running.
Back in 1988, this cost a whole $21,000.
Wow.
You can see here the final assembly point was Carmen. These were built in West Germany from the Carmen plant. Same plant that built the Carmen Diaz and some other low volume cars. It's always fun to get all the documentation with it. And you can see on the sticker here too, this was made in West Germany, the best Germany. Not too bad the interior, the leather's kind of split in some places, but...
Leather was an option, right? That was on that sheet.
It was like $900 option. So you can tell it's a Ford. It's got all these hard plastic surfaces and everything. Got the original radio here. There's a really awesome display here. When we put a battery in, we'll show that there. But this display shows if your doors or trunk are open or anything.
Hatch.
Got the custom hatch prop there.
You got some space back here.
Yeah, I've got, it came with all the original center caps.
Are these metal?
Wow. These can go for a lot of money. They're locking center caps here.
That's cool.
And next to the wheel.
What's that? Is this for a first aid kit or something? I don't know how it opens. It didn't open when I did that.
First aid kit or tool kit or something.
That's cool. Awesome. This thing's awesome.
So I got the timing cover, all the belts on, all that's tight. Got a battery in. Hooked up the fuel pressure tester here. It's just a Schrader valve on the intake. Not the intake. It's just a Schrader valve on the fuel rail. So we screwed that on. Got this ready to go. I'm gonna try to start the car while Jake watches the fuel pressure gauge and see what we got.
I'll make sure there's not a fire or anything. We're at 40. It's at 40. It's at 38 right now, like 35, 38.
It does, all right.
It's at 40. Is that like 36?
Fuel pressure test is somewhat inconclusive. I'll check the manual, see what it should be. When we rev it in neutral with no load on it, the turbo spools up really quick, which it really shouldn't do. So the timing might be kind of retarded. So we'll have to check the timing and see what that's at. But I'll check the manual, see what the fuel pressure is supposed to be. I don't want to run it too long because there's no water or anything in it. Normal fuel pressure is 35 to 40 psi idle. Yeah, so next step is check what the timing's at. That'd be an easy fix. We gotta check the ignition timing on this. Spec is 13 degrees before top dead center. To do it on these Ford engines, you have to remove the spout connector, which is spark output, which will set the base timing. Otherwise, you get advanced. And it's just a little connector down here.
Can't see anything.
Can't really see, but yeah, you pull that out and just leave it out while you're checking the timing. It'll set base timing. So I got this timing light hooked up on the #1 spark lead, and we'll start it up and see what we got. Check before it dies. Oh man. We are at 12 degrees after top dead center. That's why it runs terribly. Alright. So let's get the distributor unbolted so we can rotate it, and we'll start it up again and try to get this set correctly. Not 12 degrees after top dead center. You want to be 12 degrees before top dead center. We'll do that.
Math.
Alright, so we've got our distributor hold down loosened so we can rotate the distributor to set the timing. When you're checking timing, you need a timing light. There are timing marks on the cover. Let me get a light here. You can see the timing marks on the cover down there. You see right here, there's top dead center. Before here is after top dead center. We were hitting right down by 12 after top dead center. You don't want the spark to fire after the piston has already hit top dead center because that's not going to do a whole lot, as we can see by the poor drivability of this car. So when you have the timing light going, it has an inductive pickup on the #1 spark plug lead. So it flashes the light every time the #1 spark plug fires. And with the mark on the crank pulley, it'll kind of freeze in place with a flashing light to show where the timing's at. So we want to show the timing mark at about 13 degrees before top dead center. So I'll start the car up, put the timing light on here, show you what that looks like, and then rotate the distributor so we get it timed right, and hopefully it'll run a lot better. You can see the timing lights flashing. When you put it down here in the crank pulley, you can see the mark. It's way down there after top dead center. It's kind of like frozen in place there. We're going to rotate the distributor a bit. If I can. So now we're getting better. Come on, keep running, keep running. We're at about 10 right now. Doing a lot better. You see the timing mark there. You can tell it's already idling a whole lot better. We'll get a few revs. I don't want to run too long because there's no coolant in it. But checked that like 6 months ago instead of letting it sit. It's nice to highlight the time mark on the crank pulley so you can see it easier. But when you got a time light on it, you can see it where it's kind of marked along these timing marks. And we had it about here, which is, I mean, it goes from 10 to 20.
Which it was right on that pulley that doesn't have a belt on it. Yeah. I don't know if we picked it up on camera or not.
So you might not see it, but you want to, it'll be pretty easy to see when you got a timing light on it. You just want to line it up with, you know, about 13 degrees before top dead center, not way down here. I'd say that was a success. Check the timing. Fuel pump seems to be working all right. I'll order a thermostat. I need a new radiator overflow cap. Get a few other parts, get some coolant in it, take it for an extended test drive, but it seems a lot better than it was.
It's nice that it was so easy.
That was really easy. So yeah, fixing cars, doing stuff, nice.